It's time for Access the Experts from the University of Nebraska at Omaha with your host, Brandon Axamit.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Access the Experts on News Channel Nebraska, where every Tuesday and Thursday, University of Nebraska at Omaha faculty members answer today's questions facing our state. Today we have the pleasure of hearing from Dr. Matthew L. Hale, who is an assistant professor for UNO's School of Interdisciplinary Informatics. And today's question focuses on protecting yourself against internet scams. So today's question is, what makes someone vulnerable to spam and phishing attacks?
Thanks, Brandon. That's a great question. Phishing actually originates like the term you go with your family out fishing. There's bait that you throw out on a pole, and you actually hope that some fish will come up and bite it. And just like fish come up and bite it, well, that's exactly what attackers online are trying to do when they send you emails or social media posts that contain these malicious links that they're trying to get you to click on. They hope to catch you, steal some of your information, and ultimately do things like steal your money, take credentials that they can then use to log into your online accounts, maybe your bank account or your social media accounts, or actually even maybe corporate accounts where you work, and steal some things like intellectual product from the companies. Ultimately, 50% of users every single day encounter at least one phishing attempt. And usually these come through email and social media posts. Spam filters online do help and block about 50% of the content, but ultimately you still get emails and phishing links in your social media. Most people actually click on those things, and that results in about $3 billion in losses annually. This is a huge problem that continues to replicate itself. You see that new phishing sites are actually launched about every 20 seconds, every single day, all day long. At UNO, we've actually conducted a number of studies with about 500 users to determine what makes phishing quite so fishy. And in my lab, that started with a project called CyberTrust, which was sponsored by the Air Force Office of Scientific Research, where we actually looked at exactly what makes phishing so fishy. And we determined that things like appeal to authority, where there's an authority figure in your life, like the government or your boss, are very effective. Appeals to greed, where you have some ability to earn something by clicking on those links, are really effective. Urgency, intimacy, and legitimacy are quite effective techniques we often see. Usually that comes with things like PayPal or Apple, Google, and Facebook, these companies that we largely trust and know. The phishers then try to actually look like them and use that sort of pre-built connection that you have with them to do their malicious affairs. Ultimately, it's really about, to go back to your question, preventing phishing is really about understanding what the goals of the phisher are and countering those things. So really what you can do is think before you click, keep your browser up to date, never give out unsolicited information to anyone, and then check your online accounts in case something does happen. You can see it before it becomes a huge problem. What I would recommend is that as sort of a training tool, you can go check out the Federal Trade Commission website, and we'll have that link available that you can click on.
Thank you, Dr. Hale, for sharing that information that can help protect our viewers. And do not forget, if you have a question you want answered, go to newschannelnebraska.com and click on the Access the Experts link to submit your question. It may just be answered by a UNO expert on an upcoming edition. I'm Brandon Axamit. See you next time.
Access the Experts, presented by the University of Nebraska at Omaha. If you have questions, submit them on our website. Then join us every Tuesday and Thursdays at 6:46 a.m. and p.m. while we answer your questions.